Ladies and gentlemen, this RedGamerTech.com video, I'm going to be taking a look at the new Steam deals on the Steam sale, the 22nd of December 2012, of course, and we've got a fairly mixed bag actually today. I actually think this is the weakest day of sales. Well, it's only the third day, but never mind. We have Dawn of War franchise. Dawn of War is, well, based upon the Warhammer universe, of course, and it's a fairly reasonable deal, actually, for the entire pack. You're only looking at £8.74, which is actually a bloody good deal. You've got a ridiculous amount of content in here, Dawn of War 2, might I add, and if you're into RTS or the Dawn of War or Warhammer, then you're really going to be loving this pack. For everyone else, you might want to give it a miss. It is, however, very critically acclaimed. I haven't personally played them, however, I do know a couple of people who have, and they basically love these games more than probably life itself. They really do love them. But for me, I've never been massive into the Warhammer franchise, although Space Marines is really good. Unfortunately, that's not available in this pack, which is a bit of a shame. Nevertheless, would actually recommend this one. It's a very good price indeed for the ridiculous amount of content, including Soulstorm, tons of DLC, literally more than you can shake a proverbial stick at. Next one is Dota. I'm pretty sure many of you guys are aware of Dota. It's certainly one of the big games that's coming available at the moment now. That basically you're paying for early access, and I read the quote: Dota 2 is a free-to-play game that is not fully released. The game is constantly being developed with new heroes and features. The early access pack is your opportunity to get into the game now. Your purchase includes a giftable early access pass to Dota 2 in addition to the following in-game items, and you get a bucket load of stuff. For those of you who are not into Dota at the moment, or if you're wanting some extra goodies and maybe give something nice to a friend, well, you could go ahead and do so. Other than that, well, you know, your mileage may vary on this pack. It does have some pretty cool stuff, however, including the Witch Doctor staff, including wooden fetish mask, if that's your thing, and also a few other little bits and pieces. Could be worth checking out. It's not a bad price at $11.49, so it's also, shall I say, if I can spit the bloody word out, part of the Valve Complete Pack, which is actually a pretty good price also. For $24.99 you get Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Dota 2, as I've already mentioned, Team Fortress, loads of crap there, Left 4 Dead, Counter-Strike Source, and tons of other Half-Lives and everything else that you can imagine, Day of Defeat, blah blah blah, and that's only for £25. So it could be worth getting that, depends on exactly what you want. I think one of the real cool games here is Dead Island. It wasn't quite as good as what most the people kind of expected it to be. When it was being released back in the day, or should I say previously on the trailers, it was really anticipated for one reason, and that was when people saw the trailer with the little girl, and you know, they realised it was really bleak. People were really going crazy. For the most part, however, it's a very pretty looking game and very good for action RPG fans, or for those of you who are nuts on zombies, and I think there's a couple of you out there, including Spoon and Kipper, might I add. You can pick up the whole Game of the Year version of this for £6.79, or you can, well, pick up the strategy guide, because I think that's going to be something everyone wants, for £4.41. And you can also pick up the Dead Island Ripper mod for 69 pence. So that's a nice, even and funny number that we will not make any jokes about. The Game of the Year edition includes, of course, the Dead Island, the game itself, but the Bloodbath, blah blah. There we go. Arena DLC, a Rider White DLC, a Blueprint, the Ripper weapon, and a few other bits and pieces. It's fairly well critically acclaimed, and in my opinion, worth picking up. I thought it wasn't quite as good as what I'd expected it to be. But it's certainly not that bad. It's worth picking up. It's also pretty brutal. It's also got a pretty cool storyline as well. And just like, say, let's go with Far Cry, has a very pretty island to wander around in. So let's see, what other games have we got on this wonderful one? Train Simulator 2013. Well, it's a simulation game, and it covers goats. Well, not really, but you guys get the idea. It's Train Simulator 2013. I can honestly say that I have absolutely no desire to play this whatsoever, and it will never be featured on RGT. I can, however, tell you that it features... Okay, I just noticed Trains vs Zombies 2 on this very same page, and that just makes me really scared and curious at the same time. It's also got not applicable a Metascore. I don't know why that is. It could be taken as one of two ways. I'm going to assume it means that no one's actually rated it yet, rather than just it's not worthy of rating. I can honestly say that I've not played this. I can't really give you a serious answer on it. I would highly recommend you do some checking if it's your thing. You can also pick up the big pack, which includes, sorry, the big picture pack, which includes loads of different add-ons, which I have absolutely no idea what any of them mean, so I'll just leave that one alone. What else have we got? We've got Dungeon Defenders. Dungeon Defenders, I haven't personally played, but I know a couple of people have, generally the way it seems. Dungeon Defenders is relatively critically acclaimed, and it's also part of a huge collection, should you so desire, which is £9.99. That's 75% off. Just like how the original title is, it's £2.49. You can also pick up a 4-pack if you would like to get some stuff for friends. Unfortunately, by the way, just to remind you guys, with 4-packs, you are automatically gifted a copy to yourself. You cannot do anything about this. Excuse me guys, just a bit thirsty. And by what I mean of that is if you've not picked up a 4-pack before, let's say you pick it up, well, you'll be left with 3 copies because one's automatically gifted to you, and then you've got 3 to do whatever you so desire with. Just something to note, so don't think you can get this for 4 friends. Nevertheless, it's £7.49 for 4 copies if you so want, or £2.49 if you're forever alone type of person. Nevertheless, it's a good game, and, well, I'm pretty sure most of you guys are going to know about this one by now. It's not exactly new, it's over a year old now. It's, as I said, fairly well known, fairly well critically acclaimed. I didn't cover this because, well, it was released before RGT was even alive. So, yeah, these things happen. Blood Bowl. Blood Bowl, I've not actually tried out personally. It was going to be one of those games I did cover on RGT, but then I realised it was, well, a subject I probably had absolutely very little idea about. It's American sports type of base, anyway, as far as I understood it. But it's strategy and sports, and I don't really mix well with those two types of games. Strategies, yes. Sports games, no. Anyway, it is critically acclaimed to a degree, as far as I understand. It's not, you know, poorly received. Sorry guys, I've got company around, so one of them's got a bit of a cough. I can only apologise. But for the most part, it's a pretty good price. It's a fairly new game. It was only released October of this year. Having said that, games of this age have also been around for cheaper. I can't really tell you much other than the fact that people I do know like it. But I can't tell you from past-hand experience. However, there are 2 versions of it available, both Chaos and Legendary Edition. Chaos Edition is the later of the 2. We've also got a couple of flash deals I'm going to deal with. Also, of course, we've got yesterday's deals, which are still going to be available for another 23 hours or so. We've got F1 Race Stars. That's going to be available for another 3 hours, as well as Amnesia and Magic. F1 Race Stars is pretty good. It's very similar to Mario Kart, in honesty, but with F1 racing drivers. It's very insane, and yes, we did cover it on RGT. Amnesia, The Dark Descent. This is the game that you want to buy people if you don't like them and you want to watch them wet their pants. In all serious note, I've actually not found the game very terrifying, but I seem to be one of the very few people who have. It seems to be one of those titles that... It seems to be one of those titles that, for the most part, you're either going to love or hate, but it's mostly about the mods. There is an absolute ridiculous amount of this fan-made content. Of course, a second Amnesia is going to be released soon. I'm not exactly sure on the date. As far as I'm aware, it's early next year. Amata has covered a ridiculous amount of Amnesia, and so if you happen to be somehow under a rock all of this time, you can go ahead and check it out. Magic, I can honestly say I know very little about. I believe it might have been covered on RGT. I think Amata was unfortunate enough to play that. And I say unfortunate because, not because the game is bad, just because neither of us know much about it, and so we're just kind of stumbling about in the dark and hoping for the best. I can honestly say that it's a fairly good game from what I understand, but I don't know much about it, and I cannot tell you how accurate it is or what have you. Next, XCOM, Enemy Unknown. It's worth noting that this is not the cheapest this thing has been. In fact, I've seen it in a couple of places, which were... You can actually pick it up from Gamefly, formerly known as Direct to Drive, for £5 cheaper. By the way, they also happen to have Max Payne 3 for £8.75 on there, and you can also pick up loads of Paradox interactive stuff as well, should you so wish. It's also worth noting, by the way, that you can actually pick up Skyrim for £10. You can also pick up The Walking Dead for, once again, £10, and you can also pick up Borderlands from there for $14.99. So just a little bit of an aside there. Anyway, what else have we got? I think there's one or two more. Yes. Global Offensive. Global Offensive, I've covered quite extensively on this channel. Oh, by the way, with XCOM, there is videos on the channel, so do check them out. Counter-Strike Global Offensive, I really wanted to get into this game, but there was just a few bits about it I just couldn't get myself, to really love. I'd actually highly encourage you guys to check out the videos and see what you think, at least of the maps. There you have it. I think most of you know about Counter-Strike by now, so it doesn't really bear me repeating for the next 2 minutes. Next one is Unmechanical. This is actually a really odd game. I know that's a bit of a cop-out to say, but it really is. And I'd highly recommend you check out the videos on RGT. I did cover it quite extensively. It's very cool puzzle game. And for the price, it's an absolute steal. It's £1.74, 75% off, folks. Once again, just to point out, we are running a competition on RGT right now. We're giving away 2 copies of Torchlight 2, so do check out the video. And we're also going to be doing another competition at the end of this year. I'm not going to tell you the games that's going to be available, but they are going to be big releases. They're going to be some really good games. So anyway, as I said, if you want to win Torchlight 2, make sure to check out the video. It's going to be available for about another 9 days now. So 9 days from the date that this video is posted, this competition is going to be running. So do check out the video. It's on this channel. And as I said, after that one is done, there will be another competition posted for more games, because we're really good to you and nice to you like that. So anyway, hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. It's been a bit of a whirlwind. Apologies for the bit of noise in the background, but as I said, friends are here and these things happen. I will try to get this up at some point today, and I will see you around, well, soon. As I said before, I have already covered other videos. Oh, before I forget, actually, there is the Universe Sandbox. I think it bears very little to say other than you can create universes and very cool things. It's a very interesting game, and you can even see from the screenshots in Steam itself, you can make bloody footballs in space, and you can make absolutely ridiculous universes that I don't think physics or God, depending on whichever one you want to believe in, would ever endorse. But nevertheless, hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. I will see you around soon. Bye for now.